No, because when I made the call out, a lot of people were on social media were like, "That's impossible. There's no way." Blah blah blah. But look at that. Tim Welch liked the fight, and so did Sean. Man, they wanted it, man. They even asked to make it happen, which is great. Like I'm happy to hear that. And I find it funny that he thinks I'm the easy fight. Because I think he's the easy fight for me. I think that he's an easy matchup for me. He thinks I'm an easy matchup for him. That's why I called it out because, like, I think we could have given the fans fireworks.
From MMA Island. Christopher DeSantiago with MMA Island, riding a 7-fight win streak in the Bantamweight division. We're talking to the number 7 ranked contender, Mr. Aiemann Zahabi. Aiemann, it's a big week at UFC 323. How are you doing today, man?
I'm feeling great, man. It's a big week for me too. Like I'm in the news every day. It seems like people are, they're talking about me, whether it's Merab, Sean O'Malley, or the reporters bringing me up. It's nice. It's a nice feeling.
Awesome, man. Well, it's great to hear from you again. Before we get into all the headlines, man, how's the forearm doing? You broke it in your last
Yeah.
fight. I believe you got surgery. How has the road to recovery been for you?
Yeah, it's been good. I got some news today. Like it's still not fully recovered. So, I was really hoping to be able to start sparring this week, but it looks like it's gonna be pushed for another month or so. So, yeah, it's moving along. I'm being conservative. My doctor told me, he's like, listen, let it heal. You'll be back faster than if let you ego get involved and you do too much too soon. It's only gonna make things worse. So try to be conservative. So I'm trying to be I'm trying not to push the envelope too much, but I'm still getting some training in.
hmm And you've been fighting so consistently. I guess what does the rest of the year look like for you, Eamon?
Yeah, well, this is like now 2025 is basically it's coming to an end, so I'm gonna enjoy the next few weeks. The holidays are coming up. People are gonna have time off, so I'm gonna spend time with friends and family. But I'm gonna stay in shape because it looks like there's potential chance I could be fighting Merab in April or in March or whenever he comes back. I don't know if he wins this weekend too. He's got to win, and I need him to go out there and have a great fight. But I have the next fight in the back of my head. Even though I'm out with an injury, it's like. I can't let up. I like fighting 3 times in one year. I want to keep the momentum going. There's a lot of benefits to fighting often. Like more people recognize me now. More people know my name, and just being put in front of people's faces over and over again, it really helps to stay top of mind.
For sure, for sure. And I saw that your buddy Aaron asked Marab who he'd like to fight next. Your name was the first to come up.
Yeah.
He said that he's a warrior. He fights to the end. I guess what did you make of Marab's comments and him putting you at like the number one on his list?
Yeah, I think it as a compliment, and he's a very humble guy, and I think it's nice to have a champion who's like looking at everybody's fights. Like he's paying attention to everybody. He's not letting anybody come and blindside him in a way. You know what I mean? He knows he's got a target on his back. And I like that he acknowledged that I have my 7-fight win streak and that I'm a warrior and that I'm like potentially a big challenge coming up for him. And then I feel like it's a testament to how much of a good champion he is. And I think that's why right now he's my favorite champion because not only is he great at fighting, but he's also humble. And he's got his head on the swivel. He's no chump.
Mhm. He had a long road to the title. He had to win like what 10 fights in a row to get a title shot. I guess do you feel like he looks at you and thinks like, hey, this guy is on a similar win streak as, like I was back when I was a contender. Do you feel like he kind of sees it that way?
Yeah, I think he relates to me in a sense because like I've just put my head down and did the work. I've been doing the training and I've been winning the fights and I don't have the glitz and the glamour of a Sean O'Malley or a Wellmaker. Like it was funny like when they asked Wellmaker about me, he didn't even know who I was. It's like I'm in the top 15. You're not even in ranked, bro. And he doesn't know who I am. It's like I've been coming up under the radar, but I've been doing all the work and I've been paying my dues and I've been fighting the big names that they bring up. Even when guys miss weight, I still take the fights. Jericho missed weight by 4.5 pounds. Aldo missed weight by 8 pounds. Like I'm trying to be a company man. I'm undiscovered in a sense, but now all of a sudden, the win streak that I have, it's brought me to the table, and now I'm at the very top. And Umar called me out. Sean O'Malley wants to fight me, and Merab wants to fight me. So it's like I've arrived to the dance.
hmm I know the job's not finished. The belt. You want the belt, of
Yeah,
course. But how has life changed for you since beating Aldo, since beating Munoz?
yeah.
Getting more name value, Vera as well. How has life changed for you, Eamon?
It's been great. I got to be a UFC guest fighter for the first time. I got sent out to Qatar. It was nice to do some like
Nice.
activations with the fans, and do some cool interactions with them. I got to bring my family, to the UFC event. They treated us like VIPs. It was nice to finally get a taste of what these guys have, but I still don't have what they have. I want more. I want the fandom. I want the money that comes with it. I want the belt. There's so much. I'm so hungry. And at 38, I feel like I've got a lot of wisdom and experience behind me, and I feel like somebody like Merab, he's very big on meritocracy and like earning your spot. And I feel like he's acknowledging the fact that I've earned that spot. And I didn't do it by being a loudmouth or saying stupid things or by being cocky. I think he's naming me first, maybe because I earned it the hard way.
The title shots have been kind of weird lately with, like Diego Lopes, he got the shot over Leron Murphy, Moser Evloev, and
Yep.
then Patty obviously got the shot over um, Armin Sarukian.
Yep.
Do you feel like the UFC is kind of changing how they do things, or do you feel like it's always been this way? It just might be a little bit different with Paramount coming into play.
I feel like they've always operated similarly, but maybe now I feel like they've done a lot of meritocracy. Like a lot of the times the best fighters fight the best guys. That's what they're known for. They've built their brand based on that. And like even champions when they get surgery and they're out for 18 months, they don't get a tune-up. They fight the number one guy. Like when George had his knee surgery, he fought Condit. I mean, like it wasn't easy. They didn't give him a chump. They gave him the best guy. And then but as of late, it seems like the social media value is starting to play more and more of a role, and it's unfortunate in a sense because some guys are getting passed up that have done the work. Like for example, like you said with Diego Lopez and Laurent Murphy and Evloev. Diego Lopez gets a second shot. Like he fought and lost, but they're still giving it to him instead of the other guys. But he's got a huge following. He's at every UFC event. He's always front of mind in people's minds. So people give him a lot of credit in that sense. But I feel like Laurent Murphy kind of earned this spot, and even more so, Mofsar did. So it's interesting. I feel like they signed a $7.7 billion deal with Paramount, and they need to get larger viewership. And part of doing that is putting the big names out there first and trying to garner more subscribers to Paramount. It's about business. It's about keeping UFC alive and increasing UFC's value. Now it's also about increasing Paramount's value.
Mhm. And you have an entertaining fighting style. You're a big name in Canada. You have the 7 fight win streak. Do you think you'll have to fight again before a title shot comes, or do you feel like you're in a good position to wait and maybe fight the winner of Merab versus Yan this weekend?
Yeah, if Merab wins, I feel like I have the path to fight him next without winning a fight. If Merab loses, I might have to fight one more. So I'm not gonna tell the UFC, hey, I'm sitting out. That's not what's gonna happen. But if Merab wins, I feel like I'm the clear name. Who else is gonna be ready for the timeline he wants? Unless he gets injured and stuff. Things might change. Who knows? But it could break a certain way that I'm next without having to fight again. And if that's not how it breaks, I think I'm one fight away, if not.
Did you hear that Yan says that he'll give Merab a rematch if he wins?
Yeah, but it's not up to him. It's
Yeah.
not gonna be up to him, man. It's gonna be up to Uncle Dana, Hunter, and Sean Shelby, and Nick Maynard. Those are the guys who are gonna have the meeting and decide who gets the next shot. Because not every champion, even if they're dominant, doesn't get a rematch when they lose. It's interesting how they choose who gets an immediate rematch and who doesn't. And with the Paramount deal, it's all going to be about the numbers. Depending on how well that card does, how many viewers they get, what they may choose to give Merab a rematch or not. I wouldn't say Peter Yan has the choice.
Depending on the result, I feel like they would give Merab the immediate rematch because I feel like he's an all-time great. But do you consider Merab the greatest bantamweight of all time, or do you feel like he needs a few more wins to pass the likes of Dominic Cruz, Aljamain Sterling?
For me, it was Dominic Cruz, man. But I feel like he's on the way to beat it. Like he might be it now, and like it all depends also how he leaves. It's hard. Like Henry Cejudo is in a weird spot. Like Henry Cejudo could have gone down as one of the greatest of all time. But if he loses on Saturday, does it diminish his overall status as a GOAT? So like I feel like how you exit determines it. But as of right now, Merab might be the best bantamweight ever. It just depends how he leaves the sport.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I definitely think Cejudo's legacy, if he didn't come back after 3 years away, I mean, he would have been maybe top 10 greatest fighters of all time, right?
That's what I'm saying. And like now it's like, is he in that conversation? Like, is he really one of the GOATs? I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard to say for sure. I definitely got to ask about Sean O'Malley. You know, he made an appearance
Yep.
on Ariel show, your doppelganger. Did you hear what he had to say in terms of he wanted to fight you after your call out of him and stuff like that?
Yeah, I thought it was great, because when I made the call out, a lot of people were on social media were like, "That's impossible. There's no way." Blah blah blah. But look at that. Tim Welch liked the fight, and so did Sean. Man, they wanted it. Man, they even asked to make it happen, which is great. Like I'm happy to hear that. And I find it funny that he thinks I'm the easy fight. Because I think he's the easy fight for me. I think that he's an easy matchup for me. He thinks I'm an easy matchup for him. That's why I called it out because, like, I think we could have given the fans fireworks. That's why I think like our two styles make for a great fight, and like I've said before in the past, I don't think winning is enough in the UFC. I think you have to win and put on a show at the same time. So like you need to have some kind of entertaining fight. You can't have a style that bores the fans and people boo you. Like in my 7-fight win streak, I didn't get booed. Like, and the cheers have been getting louder to the point where every time I fight now, they chant Zahabi. So it's nice. It's nice. I'm starting to become a crowd favorite, and I've noticed the value in that. And I think me and Sean could have given the fans an incredible fight. I think we would have made it fireworks. Even though I still think I would have dominated him.
And I feel like Sean's getting a stylistically a way better matchup than in his past fights. He goes back to 3 rounds, fighting a fellow striker. Do you think he gets past Song Yadong at UFC 324?
I think that's a close fight. I don't know how hungry Sean is. That's what it's going to come down to. I feel like Song wants everything Sean has. He's coming in motivated. He wants to go for the belt. Like he's fought some of the best before and he's lost, but he's still there. Like I think Song is still very hungry and he's there's still so much he wants to achieve in the sport. Whereas Sean, he's been at the top and he's just lost two in a row. He's lost two in a row to one of the best bantamweights of all time, for sure. Like, I'm not discrediting him because he's lost two in a row. But, he's a multi-millionaire. He's super famous. Like, I would, is his why to fight still strong? Is he going to be able to dig deep in the fight if something goes wrong? Whereas I feel like with his song, I feel like there's so much he still wants to achieve that if things go bad for him, I feel like he'll still dig deep. So like I don't know, I'm gonna give a slight edge to Song in that matchup, and solely based on, Sean has achieved so much already. Like I don't know if he's still that motivated.
Definitely got to ask about the main event this weekend. I feel like Merab Dvalishvili is kind of finding a love for his hands. Do you feel like that might get him in trouble against a guy like Petr Yan, or do you feel like it might go the way that the first fight went, where Merab was just spamming takedowns and he won the decision?
Yeah, honestly, I believe Peter Yan when he says his right hand was compromised in the first fight. So like I don't know why you would say that now years later, if it wasn't true. So I don't think the first fight is going to be any indication of this fight. I do think that, like you're saying, Merab he's been working on his striking and he's found a love for it and he's had success. Like he rocked Corey Sandhagen in the second round, like it almost led to a finish for him. So there is success there, and he has good reason to strike more than he has in the past. Like he's shown improvement, is what I want to say about it. And I think it will be a good tool to mix up the takedowns because in the first fight he didn't have a high success rate of taking down Yan. So maybe if he does add the new layer of striking, maybe he'll have a better takedown success rate than he did in the first fight. So it might be a good tool, but Peter Yan is an amazing striker. So it might backfire, like you're saying. That's why you have to tune in on Saturday. You have to be there. Even me, I'm gonna be in Las Vegas for the fight, so I'm excited to watch it.
Oh, nice. Are they gonna get you cage side, hopefully?
No, no, I'm gonna be a sport analyst with Sportsnet.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
man.
so I'm gonna be covering it.
Congrats.
So
That's awesome.
yeah, thank you, man. So hopefully I'll be able to interview the winners.
Ooh, that would be awesome, man. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to see it, Eamon. But I think I saw the questions I had for you today, man. I just want to thank you again for the time. Is there anything that you want to say to the fans out there watching?
Yeah, guys, listen, if you can, follow me, subscribe to me on YouTube. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to grow that part of my social media, and I'm going to be releasing more and more videos on YouTube, and it'll be more lengthy stuff. It'll be like instructionals, how to make it as a fighter, mindset training and stuff. Like it's going to be a variety of videos, obviously around MMA. So if you guys can like and subscribe on my YouTube channel, it's Aiemann Zahabi Official on YouTube.
Awesome. And there's a new breakdown coming tomorrow or something like that?
Well, tomorrow I'm gonna put my reaction video to like Merab calling me out, Sean O'Malley, and all the talks of this week. So I'm gonna talk about that, and then I'm gonna do a breakdown of what happens this weekend, and the best knockout of the night. I'll make like a little video about it, and if there's a submission, I'll make a video breaking that down as well on Sunday or Monday.
Awesome. Well, can't wait to see it, Eamon. Well, thanks so much for the time, man, and safe travels to Vegas this weekend, okay?
Thank you, man. My pleasure.